So let's have another quick story here. There's a memo by Wendy, and it went into the suggestion box. What did Wendy say? I think regular patties should cook longer. They don't get done, and we have customer complaints. Good observation, Wendy. You're selling your customers undercooked meat. Is that a bad thing? I think so. Is that a food safety risk? Hell yes. If we change this, we will be making our burgers done and edible. Yeah, I suggest, corporate Jack in the Box, that we actually cook our damn meat. Now, what could be going wrong? Somebody could be cooking too quickly. They're not timing it right. They should be cooking for X minutes, but they're doing, a minute less than they should. Or somebody just sets a burner to, whatever, medium high on their griddle, and they don't pay attention. How hot is the griddle? Is medium high the right temperature? Maybe, maybe not. Or maybe medium high was the right temperature in 1997, but by 1999, that grill's been running strong for 2 years and it's not hot enough anymore. You got to keep double checking. You got to make sure your griddle is hot and that the burgers are being cooked right. You've got to inspect these things. And a lot of places just turn on the heat and kind of wing it with temperature. You got to check. Anyway, so what did Jack in the Box do? We would like to acknowledge the time and effort you have taken to contribute to the success of Jack in the Box by enclosing this pen highlighter. Each person submitting suggestions is eligible to receive one gift per quarter with their first suggestion. So Wendy is saying, we're risking killing our customers. And Jack in the Box says, thank you. We're going to give you a reward of a 25-cent pen highlighter. Not exactly the kind of response you would want from the company. And here it is. There's the memo. That means that Marler Clark was able to obtain this information through their investigative processes. What about Odwalla? Another story. Maybe you've heard of Odwalla. Odwalla was a small company started by a few surfer dudes in Santa Cruz. Between bong hits, I assume they decided, hey, let's make some fresh juice and sell it to the other surfer dudes. And they did. And it became a big local brand and it exploded pretty big. And eventually Coca-Cola ended up buying it. I have no idea what happened to the brand name. I'm pretty sure it was Coke that bought it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They were getting big. And they were getting big fast. And so here is a letter to Odwalla from the Department of the Army. We reviewed the deficiencies noted in the report, which our inspector discussed with you at the time of the inspection. In other words, the Army came to look at Odwalla as a potential vendor to sell juices to the military. And they inspected and they weren't too happy. As a result, we determined that your plant sanitation program does not adequately assure product wholesomeness for military consumers. This lack of assurance prevents approval of your establishment as a source of supply for the armed forces at this time. So how did Marler Clark get this? Because people got sick from the juice and they started to look into what's going on. Why are people getting sick with Odwalla juice? And there's this memo from the military saying, yeah, we can send out our soldiers to die in battle, but it's way too dangerous to give them Odwalla juice. Makes you think, what the hell were they doing that made this such an unsanitary facility? So what is the internal response from Odwalla? It is not the vendor's criteria I'm concerned about. It is Odwalla's. Why are we doing it? Why now? Why do we want to prove, or what do we want to prove? If the data is bad, what do we do about it? Once you create a body of data, it is subpoenaable, meaning it'll go into court. You could ask for it and show them, here's their food safety data. You should look at this as though the Fresno Bee has looked into the results and asked a lot of questions. This should be done in advance so you know what you're in for if you don't like the data. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying that if you want everyone in Danuba on board. So what are they saying here? Don't collect food safety data, because if we don't like the results, what are we going to do about it? We've got an unsafe product. Don't tell me about it. Don't collect data that could show us we knew about it when we go to court. Because once you collect the data, some attorney like Marler Clark could find that data and show us as irresponsible producing an unhealthy product. Don't collect the data. Wow. Instead of figure out a way to make a damn safe product, don't collect data that could be used against us that could show we knew it was an unsafe product. Wow. So, what will a jury think? Because a lot of these trials, even though they're not criminal, because there can be large awards, it often can go to a jury. It depends on the situation, but a jury, if you do have a jury trial to determine awards, damages, those are 12 consumers, 12 people that eat salads, 12 people that eat tomatoes, 12 people that eat food products, drink juices, and they want to know that their food is safe. And if they see some big corporation on the other side and it's just this nameless idea that it's Dole, Taco Bell, Burger King, Jack in the Box, whoever, they want them to pay. And that certainly has been the history of juries. So is there hope for my retirement? This is a little last statement from Marler Clark himself. A recent report, 2005, so not recent at all, really, released by the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, in collaboration with the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, and the US Department of Agriculture, showed important declines in foodborne infections due to common bacterial pathogens in 2004. From 1996 to 2004, the incidence of E. coli 0157H7 infections decreased by 42%. But then what happened? All the stuff that hit the fan in 2006. And we had 2 0157 outbreaks in romaine lettuce. I think it was 2 years ago and 3 years ago in Yuma, Arizona, something like that. So it is not going away. We need to be doing better as an industry and looking at ways to improve our processes. Yes, we've improved a lot, certainly, especially with the larger companies that have implemented very strong washing programs and food safety inspection programs. A lot has improved, but there's a long way to go. So that is it for Marler Clark's version of the story.